Hello and welcome back. So this is basically our video number 2 when it comes to the KVN Excel series. So kindly do subscribe to my YouTube channel there and also consider following my X account so that you'll check on the hacks and the daily tips. So let's now start with the first scenario here. So I have two scenarios. That's the exact tax rate given the sales and exact grade given the scores. So there's no big difference between this one and the video so there's no big difference between this one here and the video that we actually had previously, but I would actually want you to check on the previous video first, that is the VLOOKUP on the approximate match, before you actually consider checking on this. So if you do not actually check on the VLOOKUP approximate match, kindly consider checking that one. It was actually in the previous video. I'll actually get you a link down here. So I'll actually get you a link for the VLOOKUP approximate match down in the description. So in this case here, you will actually realize that we have two scenarios. This is the first scenario and this is the second scenario. So for the sales, I have this one's actually the same thing that we had in the approximate match. And this is what you would actually want to obtain the tax rates for. These are the sales you would like to obtain the tax rates for. So to obtain the tax rate, you can. So the difference between this one here and the approximate match is that in this point here, I have 200,001 appearing on these sales. I have 600,001 appearing on this point here. I have 1,000,001 appearing on this point again. So that actually means that I have all these sales, yes, inside my sales column. That's why we are actually using exact match, not the approximated match. In the approximate match, we are actually using the idea of ranges so that it can help us to identify or to approximate the tax rate. But in this point, you can actually check that 200,001 is actually here and the tax rate is actually 4%. So I'm not actually approximating the tax rate. It's actually the exact tax rate. Yes, 4% is actually the exact tax rate for the sales equivalent to 200,001, just like that. So let's now go into obtaining the tax rate. So VLOOKUP like that. You open the lookup value. That's actually my sales. It's actually on G21. And the table array, this is my table array. And in this table array, the tax rate is actually on column number 2 of my table array. Sales is actually column number 1 of my table array. Tax rate is actually on column number 2 of my table array. Yes, I would actually want to obtain the tax rate. That's why I'm having 2 as the column index number. It will ask you on this point here, are you obtaining the approximate match or the exact match? I'm actually obtaining the exact match. Double click on it. So exact match is actually equivalent to false or a 0. False or 0 actually tells you that you are obtaining an exact match. Hit enter on the keyboard. Now you can actually check that it's a 4. So you can replace that false with a 0 and you can actually check that it's the same result. But what if we add something like approximate? So you can just do approximate or just have 1 there and you can actually check that I'll still have the same thing, but this is not actually advisable here. So you will still maintain the exact match to be equivalent to 4% like that. Then if we double click on this point, you can check that I will be having 6% and I will also be having 8%. So for 600,001, I'll be having 6%. For 1,000,001, I'll be having a tax rate of 8%. Now, I would actually want us to have this point as 190,000. I would actually want us to have this sales as 190,000 like that, and you can actually check that it's not applicable. Why not applicable? Because this one is not actually an exact. Why not applicable? Because we do not actually have 190,000 appearing on the sales. There's no exact match. That is. So this 0 here is actually telling us that it's an exact match. But in our case, because we do not have this 190,000 here, we will use the idea of ranges for approximation, and that will be 1, and it will give us 3%. So take it back to 200,001 like that, and just have it as an exact match. Exact match is actually false or 0, which will actually get us a tax rate of 4%. So that's actually the difference between the approximate match and the exact match. For the approximate match, you will be getting the assistance of the ranges. For the exact match, it has to appear exactly like it is. It has to appear exactly like it is on this sales column. So 200,001, which is actually here, has a tax rate of 4%. 600,001, which is actually here, has a tax rate of 6%. 1,000,001, which is actually here, has a tax rate of 8%. So that's actually the difference. It has to appear exactly like it is on the sales column. But for the approximate match, yes, you just have to use the idea of the ranges, and it will guide you all through. So remember, I have a site here, yes, and on this site, I will actually be asking you to get me the work to obtain for you the digital products, which is to obtain for you the templates. I can obtain for you the templates and manage for you at $50 per month. Get for you the template and maintain for you per month. That will be $50. I can also get you all these other templates and customize for you. So this will be the prices I can get for you and customize for you. That will be the prices. And on this point, I can actually take for you, and on this point, I'll actually do for you the monthly task. For example, cloud in Excel prompting, dashboards and charts, automation, pivot tables and models, Power BI, financial forecast, inclusive of templates management, all this at $550 per month. So this one will actually be renewable. So this one is per month. So this is a renewable service. So that will be $550. For the one-time task, you can actually get me the task to obtain for you the AI-powered dashboard design, $150. AI data analysis and insights, $200. AI automation and smart macros, $250. AI enhanced Power BI report, $300. Just like that. So you can actually check that these are favorable prices, and that's all. So still, I can get you the access to my Google Drive so that you can get all these videos. So I have several videos which are actually very friendly, and they are actually project oriented. So I can get you the access to my Google Drive so that you can learn Excel analytics with just $100. So with just $100, you will get access to my Google Drive, and this one will actually be the videos that you will be accessing. And when my site is actually done, I'll still maintain the access for you. So you won't actually lose the access when the site is actually done. I'll still add you to my site so that you will actually access. And it will actually be a very good discount, because imagine having all this. Yes, imagine having all this at just $100, when the get it all will actually be going at $945. So $100 is actually a very good bargain. I'm just doing that for the first, let's say, for the first 25 clients. So I will actually want to do that for the first 25 clients only. So kindly reach me out, and this is my email here. So this is my email, so that you can reach me out for the task, so that you can also reach me out in case you actually need the Google Drive access and many more. So reach me out so that we can actually discuss business. So this is actually my scenario number 2, and in this scenario number 2, we'll actually be doing the exact grade, yes, given the scores. So this is still the exact match. You can actually check that I have a score of that 1, which is actually getting me a grade of D. I have a score of 51, which is actually getting me a grade of B. I have a score of 75, which is actually getting me a grade of A+. So we'll still use the VLOOKUP like that. Then I actually open the lookup value is actually on L21, comma, the table array. This is basically my table array. And in that table array, you can check that grade is actually on column number 2 of my table array. Score is actually on column number 1 of my table array. Grade is actually on column number 2 of my table array. So it's actually 2. Are you obtaining the approximate match or exact match? In my case, I'm actually obtaining the exact match, which is actually a false or a 0. And you close and hit enter on the keyboard, it's actually a D. So that one actually has a D. And let me actually double click so that I can feel for the rest. 51 is actually a B plane and 75 is actually an A plus. So that's actually the difference that comes when it comes to the approximate match and the exact match. So that's all. Now, what if we actually add, let's say, for example, a score of that 2? Remember, we do not a score of that 2. Now, remember, we do not actually have a score of that 2 on this point here. So what will be the result? The result will be not applicable. So what will we actually do when we have the not applicable error appearing here? So that one actually pushes us to video number 3, where we have the if error plus VLOOKUP. So the if error plus VLOOKUP will be our video number 3 when it comes to the KVN Excel series. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on my X account, and also get me the task